Hey guys, it's Amy at Zoe Beck, and I thought I would do Top 5 Wednesday today. I don't normally do this, but every once in a while there's a topic that I'm like, oh, I want to do that one. So this was it. So this is what top 5 favorites that you would like to revisit or reread. So she said, so this is again put on by Sam at Thoughts on Tomes. She's curating it, and I'll have her video linked down below. Again, as I said, she said you could do movies and other video games and other things. And so I just have books, of course, because that's really all. Because movies, I can revisit those anytime I want to. I'm not really worried about that. But books, again, take more of a commitment, I think. And so it's kind of fun to do a rereads. So I'm gonna, some of these are, not too many are standalones. I'm pretty bad about this. Like, most of the time they're series. I want to revisit a series. So most of these are going to be series. There is one that's technically by itself, but really everything is kind of connected. Anyway, so number 5 is I would like to go back and reread the Elizabeth Peters Amelia Peabody series. I read so many books. I discovered her about 15 years ago, and I read like everything that was out at that time. Of course, she has passed away now, so there's only a finite number of books, but I never finished, like I stopped reading this series. I don't remember if I was 14, 10, I don't know how many far. I read a lot of her standalones as well, so I'm not talking about those so much, although there's a couple of them that I really like to revisit every once in a while. But this is the series I would really like to restart and reread it and get to the final. I think the last one, I don't remember which one was the last one I read. So it was quite a ways into it. It's when her son is older. And so I don't remember, or he's an adult. I just don't remember which book that is anymore. I have it. I have most of them. I think I'm just missing some of the last ones, but I would like to revisit that. So that is something I would like to do. The other one, oh, sorry, I'm listening. Helter Skelter by Vincent Bugliosi and Kurt Gentry. Again, I read this in college, and I just found it fascinating. I love that there's a TV movie. I had to find that on DVD. I had it on tape at first, It was just, the whole thing's creepy. Of course, the Manson family. So, this copy is from when I bought it back in the day and I read this. So I was really wanting to reread this. I did get the audiobook either with one of my credits or when it was on sale one time. So I do have that. So I'm kind of thinking about listening to it rather than rereading it like physically, but I don't know. It's one I've always wanted to revisit. There's a couple true crime ones that I read in my teens that I would like to reread because it's been so long. And this is definitely one of them. So it's number 4 on my list. Number 3 is Mary Stewart. So I've just got these really cool editions. I have really old editions that are either my grandmother's or my mother's books, and some I picked up in used bookstores. So I have copies of all of her books. My cat's crying in the other room, sorry. Anyway, so I would like to reread all of these books, and now that I've gotten really pretty covers, I admit it, remember, spent my money. Anyway, overtime money. Anyway, so I've only reread one, and it was a complete surprise. I didn't remember anything but like one scene at the end. But a couple of these, like My Brother Michael and The Moon Spinners, are much clearer to me because I know I've reread them more often. But as a whole, a lot of the other ones of Mary Stewart, I don't remember anymore. And I would really like, and since everybody's been talking about them, of course, it made me think about it. And again, I read these when I was a teenager, so I would love to revisit them. And so she's number 3. And number 2, I don't know why I want to reread this series, and it keeps popping up on things I see online. And it could just be because he's one of my favorite authors. And this series, I only read it through once. And it wasn't, well, it was a while ago, but not super long ago, like, not within my 10 years reread thing. But I would really like to read Otherland by Tad Williams. I loved this series. It was, 4 epic books. Super long. I waited till it was all done before I read them. Well, I think I tried the first one and I got distracted and I stopped. But I waited till they were all out so I could read them, and I almost read them all back to back. I think I had to read a few things in between third and fourth book. So, but anyway, I would really like to revisit this. For some reason, it's calling to me. And again, I think it's because nowadays we do a lot of stuff online, and this is talking about, you know, online gaming stuff before it was, or how it's gone so far. And then of course it's this cool place where people get to go, you know, virtually, and I just, it's fascinating and scary and fun, and I just love Tad Williams. So I would really like to revisit The Other Land. And then number one is not really going to be any surprise. It's actually a book I should have already read this year, but I read part of it and then I stopped. But I'm going to consider this my number one a book that I want to revisit because I still want to get through it so I can continue with the series. And that is The Three Musketeers by Alexandre Dumas. So I read this in high school on my own. There's no reason for it, but I did read it, and I've read it one other time probably about 10 years after that. And then I haven't picked it up since. So I really want to finally reread this and continue with the series because there are like 6 books that come after this, or 4. What did I decide? 4? 5. 5 books after this that I want to read. So I want to get through this. So this is the top one that I've read before, but I really want to revisit and get it done. And again, I've read about 160 out of like 600. Over 600. Yeah, about a little over 600. So that's, you know, but I'm hoping to read it this month. Maybe. Anyway, so those are the top 5 books, series, authors I would like to revisit. What are some that you would like to revisit? Are any of these on the top of your list that you've read and want to go back to? Let me know. I will talk to you guys later. Bye.